if you notice, this is again just a model, really. In terms of length, it doesn't meet up to 150 words, but you will see that it says in this paper, we investigate the role of nanotechnology in improving oil recovery from heavy crude oil reservoirs. Full stop. That is instructive. That is objective. This is what we want to do. Objective, introduction, background, it's already done. By incorporating nanoparticles into steam injection processes, we achieve, so that is methodology there. Okay, that's methodology coming in. We achieved a significant increase in thermal efficiency and a 40% reduction that is results, coming in. Methodology leading to what? Results. And then it goes further to say our laboratory tests and field simulations demonstrate that these innovations can potentially, now that is discussion or interpretation of the results, and by extension, application. Okay, how can you apply this to other areas? What is the value of this work? Which is what it says. They say these innovations can potentially lead to more sustainable practices in heavy oil production, setting a new standard for the industry's approach to resource extraction. So when you read an abstract, you find out there is a section that talks about the introduction or defines the problem objective. There's a section that talks about what was done, the methodology or workflow. And then there's a section that introduces the results and sometimes an interpretation of the results, and then maybe some application, and conclusion. That's sort of the key thing you catch here. Now, if I go to the equivalent of this, it says, let me read this. It says this research is about using nanotechnology for oil recovery. Straight up. He said this research is about using. It is not the same as the first one, which says in this paper we investigate. See, here there's an investigation here, meaning work was done. We investigate the role of nanotechnology in improving oil recovery from heavy crude oil reservoirs. So you see here, there's investigate as a word. There is role of nanotechnology and in improving oil recovery from what? Heavy crude oil reservoirs. Okay, but in this other one, it says this research is about using nanotechnology for oil recovery. That does not show depth and robustness of content. And it goes ahead. We mix nanoparticles with steam and saw some. You see, the language here is not entirely professional. We mixed nanoparticles. How you say we? Who is the we here? We mixed nanoparticles with steam and saw some improvement in the results. Some improvements in results. It's not even, it doesn't look appealing. In that sense, there might be, so there's nothing I can hold on from a reviewer here. There might be benefits for oil production, but further research is needed. It could be a new technology for the industry. There's a lot of could, might, and which does not quite tie. And I don't see some sort of quantitative value for this. And it is not entirely appealing, to me if I want to say, okay, let me see the full work. So as a reviewer, I may not be interested. I'll say, well, thanks for writing, but no thanks. And then we move on.